This video is made for education and entertainment purposes only, so make sure you watch till the end, because what just happened between the Pirates and the Dodgers might completely change how you look at small market teams forever. And if you love intense MLB breakdowns like this, hit that like button right now and subscribe, because we are diving deep into a story that nobody saw coming. Okay. Let's talk about how the Pirates' trash turned into gold, and how a signing that was mocked, laughed at, and called pathetic just humiliated the Dodgers this month. Just a few weeks ago, when the Pittsburgh Pirates announced they were signing this player, the baseball world barely blinked. Analysts shrugged, fans rolled their eyes, Dodgers Twitter was literally joking about it. People were saying this is what small market desperation looks like. They called it a minor league move. They said it was depth at best. Some even said this was proof the Pirates weren't serious about competing. And then baseball did what baseball always does. It punched everyone in the mouth. Because that pathetic signing, that cheap gamble, that leftover free agent nobody wanted, he just walked into Dodger Stadium and turned it into his personal highlight reel. Let's set the stage properly. The Dodgers came into this series looking like the Giants of the National League again. Stacked lineup, superstar power, massive payroll, MVP talent everywhere you look. They have depth, they have analytics, they have experience, they have October expectations every single year. And then you have the Pirates, a team that most national media barely covers unless something weird happens. A team constantly labeled as rebuilding. A team that's supposed to be developing, not dominating. A team that, according to the payroll numbers, shouldn't even be in the same financial universe as Los Angeles. And yet, here we are. This whole storyline started quietly. The Pirates picked up a player who had been bouncing around. Injuries, inconsistent numbers, doubts about whether he could still produce at a high level. Front offices passed on him, contenders ignored him. The narrative was simple. His best days were behind him. Pittsburgh didn't care about the narrative. They saw something. Maybe it was a mechanical tweak. Maybe it was an analytics projection. Maybe it was just the pathetic signing steps into the box, and you could almost feel the underestimation in the stadium. First at-bat, sharp line drive. Okay, fine. Second at-bat, hard contact again. Third at-bat, boom. Ball launched deep. Silence in the crowd. Pirates dugout exploding. And just like that, the tone shifted. Because this wasn't a fluke bloop hit. This wasn't some lucky wind-aided fly ball. This was authority. This was confidence. This was a player who looked like he had something to prove. And maybe he did. You could see it in his body language. No hesitation. No fear of the moment. Going pitch for pitch against one of the most respected rotations in baseball. Working counts. Adjusting mid-at-bat. Punishing mistakes. By game 2, the Dodgers weren't laughing anymore. They were pitching around him. Think about that for a second. The guy everyone mocked is suddenly getting cautious treatment from one of the most analytically advanced teams in the league. That tells you everything. And the humiliation didn't just come from the stat line. It came from the timing. Late innings, runners on base, tight game, Dodger bullpen on the mound. And who comes through again? The same guy they said wasn't worth the roster spot. Clutch hit. Go-ahead run. Pirates win. The camera cuts to the Dodgers dugout, and you could see frustration. Not panic, but irritation. Because this wasn't supposed to happen. Not against Pittsburgh, not because of that signing. What makes this story even more wild is how it exposes something bigger about baseball. We live in an era where payroll gaps are massive. The Dodgers operate with financial flexibility that most teams can only dream about. They invest in development, in scouting, in data science. They have layers of insurance for every possible weakness. But baseball isn't played on spreadsheets. Sometimes it's played on hunger. The Pirates saw a player the rest of the league had written off. They didn't need him to be an MVP. They didn't need him to carry the franchise. They just needed value. And against the Dodgers, he delivered more than value. He delivered impact. There's something poetic about a so-called trash signing becoming gold in the spotlight of Dodger Stadium. Because humiliation isn't always about getting blown out 15-2. Sometimes it's about narrative collapse. The Dodgers are built to dominate. The Pirates are built to survive and grow. When a survival move outshines a domination machine, it stings differently.
Let's break down what actually changed for this player. First, approach. In previous seasons, he was chasing high fastballs. Pitchers knew they could beat him upstairs. With Pittsburgh, you can see a clear adjustment, more selective, laying off borderline pitches, forcing pitchers into the zone. Second, swing path. The launch angle looks more consistent, less rolling over on inside pitches, more backspin to the opposite field. That's not luck, that's work. Third, confidence. And this might be the biggest factor. When a team signs you while others ignore you, that belief hits different. It's not just a contract, it's validation. and he played like a man validated. Meanwhile, the Dodgers looked human. Their rotation had moments of dominance, but they couldn't put him away. Their bullpen, usually airtight, gave up critical hits at the worst times. The offense had opportunities, but couldn't fully capitalize. And in baseball, that's all it takes. A few missed chances, a few mistakes, one underestimated opponent. Social media exploded after the series. People started digging up the original reactions to the Pirates signing him. Screenshots of tweets calling it irrelevant. Clips of analysts dismissing the move in 30 seconds. It's brutal how fast the internet flips. Suddenly, the conversation changed. Was this actually a sneaky, brilliant pickup? Did Pittsburgh's front office see something others didn't? Did the Dodgers underestimate their opponent? And here's the uncomfortable question for big market teams. How many players are you overlooking because they don't fit the perfect projection model? Because this month, one of those overlooked players just made you pay. The Pirates' clubhouse energy after that series was different. You could see it in interviews. Not cocky, not arrogant, but confident. Like they proved something not just to the Dodgers, but to themselves. Small market teams live off moments like this. They build identity from them. They remind their young core that payroll doesn't swing the bat. For Dodger fans, this isn't the end of the world. It's one series, a long season. October is what matters in Los Angeles. But embarrassment in baseball is rarely about long-term damage. It's about pride. And pride took a hit. Let me know in the comments. Was this just a hot streak, or did the Pirates just find a hidden gem that the entire league slept on? Because if this month proved anything, it's that in baseball,